Biyaheng tagumpay. Hey, what's up? Leo here at your service. Let's talk about the Season 11 roster of TNC Pro Team. In case you haven't yet, please like and subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you know when I have new updates. I'm covering all of the Season 11 rosters. And for this one, I'd like to talk about a team that's very close to my heart. I used to work with them, and now they've grown so much. I think this is the most TNC has grown in their run in the MPL, at least preseason. All right, no one can take away the fact that in season 9 they were white hot, third place, close to clutch in MSC, but now they're taking some steps to be better than ever. This is the biggest roster TNC has fielded. I think even bigger than when the franchise initially came through. Now they have a full 10-man roster with subs across the board, so their strategies just infinitely deeper now. And they pulled in some old favorites and some of my bestest friends in the world of the MPL. I can't wait to talk to you guys about it. Let's start with the Roamer. Or roamers. We'll do it role per role because there's a lot of new faces here. I think it's easier for us to go through and get to know them better if we talk about them in that sense. First up, no new faces when it comes to TNC's roamers. It's still Ben Things and Escalera. I think that's the major change is Escalera no longer is going to be playing mid in Season 11. He will now be mainly playing as a roamer. Now, they're two different kinds of roamers, all right? Bentings and Escalera. Bentings, your traditional tank. Catches like no one can. Could have sworn he was the second coming of S on the way he uses Franco. Escalera, though, more of your roaming Salinas, more of your Caditas. And it's not that he can't play, you know, the Lolitas, the Francos, the Kufras. It's just that's where his versatility lies, at least in my opinion. So I think TNC has a solid choice there. Their new mid laners, well, there are two new players coming in as mid laners making their debut in the MPL. One is Goyo, who is the brother of Coach Scholar, or once teammates under Virgin Souls. And there was a small amount of time when I worked closely with them, and at least once, I remember once, had a workshop with them, and this was in mid-2021. Tagal na rin yun eh. But this was in their early, like, amateur days, and they had so much promise. That they're super intelligent. So Goyo is someone to look out for. Ang kapalitan niya doon, the other mid laner that TNC just fielded is Riku, who was previously with K-Signs. And by the way, a lot of this information came straight from Coach Lift. So I asked him, like, you have the lowdown on your new players so I can introduce them, talk about them in my video. Riku used to play way back, and this has been a frustrating story for the young mid laner. The fact that he made top 8 in the Season 7 qualifiers of MPL. And that's where I met up and eventually coached for the team that would become TNC, Worcester Force. That's where they like dominated the qualifiers run. So in that tournament, Riku was playing, and his team made top 8. So imagine how tight that bracket was. Imagine coming through that time, and now he's finally in the MPL. So that's Riku for you. So those are two mid laners. Next up are the gold laners, and it's one new face with a new name, and then one making his debut in the MPL. First up, let's talk about the newer face, Innocent. Innocent is making his MPL debut with TNC. He's a gold laner, and he used to play with Lazy. The esports, Lazy Pro, Lazy Arsenal, yon. And he was scouted out by TNC, and now he's playing in the MPL. Kapalitan niya, or I'm not sure. Again, who's to say with a big roster like this if they're gonna have a main roster like that plays all the time and subs, or if they'll be shuffling constantly like the way Onyx PH used to do it. We have Ninja Killer, aka Yasuo. This is a direct quote. The way that Yasuo changed his IGN should describe how they're changing as a team, and the stuff that they're trying are so shocking, quote unquote, kahit multo magugulat sa gagawin namin. So that just means even a ghost would be shocked as to how different and drastic the things we'll be doing might be. So I'm excited. Obviously, with a new name comes a new swag, a new style. So yeah, that's Ninja Killa for you. Let's start calling him Ninja Killa. His name's not Yasuo anymore, despite being named Yasuo for a very long time, especially when he was dominating the amateur scene. He's now Ninja Killa. All right. Let's move on to the junglers. We have one familiar face and one newer face making his MPL debut. Let's start there. It's King Kong. He was once in Z4. Z4 was this up-and-coming, very strongly backed amateur team, and there's a lot of potential there that Coach Lift and the whole TNC management saw in him. So it's more on the potential to eventually become the king of the jungle. So they're investing in that, as well as, of course, a familiar face in Saksha, who was previously with Brainy Sports and was better known in the amateur scene with his time with Archangel. So that's where the connection is. That's where it is, right? A majority of TNC, when they were reborn in Season 9, were Archangel players. And so there's built-in chemistry there. There's synergy. There's history. So that's how Saksha comes in as one of the two junglers for TNC. So that's King Kong and Saksha. Now, let's go into XP. The last role, and you're seeing a pattern here, right? Like there's 2 players per role this season for TNC. And I think that's good. I think that's good. They can shuffle it up. They can work it out. You have the XP laners. Number 1, of course, Cram. What can I say about Cram, man? He's capable of carrying games alone almost. While in Season 10, I have vivid memories of TNC drafting very weird. Like, where's your damage coming from? All right, that's a lot of damage, but you have to get past that 12, 13-minute mark. It's Cram. It's Cram who holds down the fort to make sure that his team does not lose, that at least one lane is okay, or he's winning somehow, because that's how good he is. Mechanically speaking, Cram is a god. Cram god, you know? So he's there. He's the veteran for TNC in the XP lane. They signed a new talent, though, in Hesu. Hesu, also known as Hesu Christoph, if you guys know him from the amateur scene. See, Hesu Christoph, he was once a member of Virgin Souls, and they go about way back. Him and Coach Lift and then the rest of the TNC coaching staff. And quick tidbit, right? I was asking Coach Lift about all of this, and he says, Hesu is an amazing XP laner, a great dude overall. He just needs to focus. As long as his love life is okay, or I think the word is, as long as he's not distracted with his love life, Hesu Christoph is amazing. So let's see. That's just a funny bit. Again, Lift and I very close. That brings us into the coaching staff. Lift is back in the MPL. He was last seen in Season 8. And in Season 10, he later part of the season, he would hang out backstage. So again, there was writing on the wall telling people that, hey, Lift might be back. And I guess they needed a coach like Lift in the driver's seat. So he's the head coach again. And if you guys will remember, as soon as Season 8 ended, was disastrous for TNC, he shaved his head, right? And I think his promise to himself was, you know, I'm just going to grow out my hair. It's going to come back to normal once I get back to the MPL. And that was what? 2 years ago almost now. And finally he's here. So that's a promise fulfilled to himself, that he worked hard and you know, grinded his way back into this league. And here he is, right? Coach Lift is back. Quick tidbit again about the whole roster reveal thing. He goes, anak ng teteng, something, something, something. That's how he actually speaks in real life. Like, whenever we would set up for scrims, or he would catch one of our players before, like, doing something wrong, he would go, anak ng teteng. That's how he actually talks. So, funny tidbit, right? Right. Speaking of Coach Lift and Coach Wright, get it? Wright was once a coach for Virgin Souls. Lift had a little stint with Virgin Souls, and there was a time when I think they replaced each other, or kung nagpag-abot man sila if they were working there at the same time. So that's where Wright came from. He had some time coaching in the amateur scene, and now He's an assistant coach for TNC alongside Scholar. Scholar has been, I think, instrumental in the rebirth of TNC, and he was there with them in Season 9, was there in Season 10 helping draft with Coach 413, and he didn't go anywhere. So Scholar is a great mind, and now under Lift alongside Wright, they should be able to do amazing things in Season 11. And then, of course, rounding it out, part of that video is Dread, their manager. I think you need that kind of like older brother, like authority figure in the back end, because sometimes, again, I'm gonna put Lift on blast here. Sometimes Lift needs help rounding up the boys, so that's why Dread's there. And I'm so excited. Again, just as an overall vibe check for TNC in Season 11, I think they're gonna do great, and the fact that they're investing in a lot of new talent and then taking, steps in unknown directions. Because again, it's so easy to just try to sign older MPL talent or like, older names to just like get consistent results. This is good, like new blood injected into our metagame, into our league. This is how it's done. This is how dreams come true. So yeah, for now, onwards, sakay na, biyaheng tagumpay, support TNC Pro Team this coming season 11. And yeah, y'all have a great day. Peace out.